I mentioned on my channel before that my father just died. Yay! Which is not probably a normal response that people would want to hear. But you got to understand why. Like, first of all, I'm sad that my father could never heal himself, that he never even wanted to learn what love was. I'm sad that this Occupy Wall Street has not changed our structure that would force him to get proper medical health. um, Crazy, crazy people are running our world, and my father was one of them. And he was involved in newspaper, Thompson newspaper. He worked in the newspaper when Nixon was in power. We lived in Washington, D.C. at the time. And he was management. Don't want to get too much into what he did for a living. It's sort of irrelevant, other than he made a ton of money. And this was a man that thought all women are crap, garbage, no value whatsoever. He would do anything to destroy you unless you were as greedy and as abusive as he is. If a female did as he said, then he'll be there like a dirty shirt. But if you do not hold his abusive viewpoints, he's totally against you. So he will be in agreement. For instance, my sister-in-law and her daughter always were accepted by my father because they agreed that women have no value. I've sat in conversations where I've sat and listened to, my mother had to admit that she had no value. My sister-in-law had to admit she has no value. And my niece is doing the same thing, that they all agree they have no value. So what has gone on is there was no stopping this man, and he was definitely abusing my mother. And she could never get away from this man. He knew the legal system inside and out, and has broken many laws, has done a lot of harm on the planet, and got away with it. He did it all legally. So he has been planning what is to happen after his death all his life, mostly, like all my life. As soon as he had kids, he was planning on what he wants done after he dies, and he's been training my brother to take over his abusive crown. So what's happening right now is, now my mother is left in my brother's hands, who is an alcoholic and violent. So I'm really, really worried about my mom. And I'm either have to, like, I had to block all of that out and not be anywhere around it, because there was absolutely nothing I could do with my father alive. But now that my father's dead, and we're in this shift where something amazing has happened legally. So I need your help, but not very much help at all. There's very, very little help I need from others to help save my mother. I'm in contact with this girl, Kati, which I want to put a link below. Go check out her channel. She is definitely heavily involved in the changes that need to happen within our justice system. This whole global collapse was done legally. So we need somebody that exactly knows how to make these changes within our justice system. I wasn't quite understanding how we could help, because it almost seemed like this is a way you can get away with doing anything. And you know, the conversation went, well, no, we won't help anybody that's actually doing harm. And it's like, no, these people can learn how to do harm themselves if we still agree to that type of system being there. So that's where I kind of have a conflict with this new justice system, but I see it in development. He's at the starting stages of it, but it will transform into something even better. I also was in disagreement because there's this guy that's doing similar stuff by the name of Bernard, who is Canadian as well. And today, when I had a conversation with Katie, I was trying to, let her know that, this is some of the reasons I am in disagreement with you is because of who your friends are. And your friends are looking pretty evil looking to me. And so he agreed. Katie agreed that this guy is not working for good. So there are good guys and bad guys. This girl, Katie, I'll put the channel link below. Definitely listen to anything this person is sharing because it is important. We really need to look at changing our justice system because our justice system currently works for the criminal and not for victims. That's why everything is collapsing. And we've all heard the words. Our justice system isn't perfect, but it's the best we've got. So as long as we can convince everybody that we know it's not perfect. Well, it's not perfect for those victims. It won't ever work for a victim. So while I'm trying to save my mother, I've tried finding lawyers to help for a week. I'm losing my mind trying to find a lawyer that will actually help. I have phoned, she has Alzheimer's, so she does need loving people caring for her. And my brother's just going to put her in a home, more than likely the cheapest possible home he could put her in. And he has definitely taken all of the money. All of the money was willed to him. Me and my sister are concerned for my mother, so we want to see the will. We want to see what's actually going on. I'm not even told where my mother is. All information is, as usual, me and my sister are entitled to no rights. I even have an email from my brother that stated that fact, that me and my sister have no rights. So basically what we're going to do, Katie, I'm phoning all these lawyers and I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to phone more and more and more. And I know I'm going to lose my mind because my whole history has been trying to leave abuse using this legal system. And let's take note. At the end of the day, after fighting in court for like 9 years, I was ordered to pay child support and the kids live with me. So how good is our justice system if they can't even follow the laws? I was supposed to receive the child support, not pay it. And since I kind of lost my mind after I seen how corrupt the system is, and can't play in that system, the stress of playing in that system right now, I will develop health issues. And they call me mentally ill too, so there you go. I'm on a disability right now, which taxpayers pay my monthly bill, which I think is kind of wrong. I think we should stop crime so I could be productive in society, but we don't want to stop crime. So this is our Band-Aid is like, okay, we know you're the victim of everything we don't want to change. Here's a penny so you can live off it, because you can't live off the money they give you. Anyways, to make a long story short, it's like somehow Katie's name came to mind, and I thought, ooh, should give her a call. And she lives in Ontario. I'm in BC. She lives right in the same area that my mother lives in, so she can do all of the work. So right now, we need to put a lien on my brother's name, and that will cost $250. And I don't have $250. I don't need any more than $250. Katie's willing to do this for free, and trust me, there's a hell of a lot of money there that I can definitely, help Katie do what Katie's doing. And the only thing Katie is doing is trying to change the system. So even publicizing this as much as possible in return is probably, Katie's view is helping other people gives her purpose. That's the reward. That's the paycheck that she gets. So it's like, I feel like I should, when somebody helps you out, the first reaction is, I want to do everything back. it's a natural response that when somebody does for you, you want to naturally just do something back. So I know there's got to be something I can do to help her out after she helps my mom. But basically, what's got to happen is we've got to put a lien on my brother's name so we can force him into court, and then we can see all of the records and find out where my mother is, and make some decisions about what is best for my mom. Something my brother refuses to even let me know what his attorney's name is. Apparently in his mind, I have no rights, I'm female. So to file that lien, we need $250. Once that is done, what we're going to do is dispute the will to see if my father was in his right mind when he made the will. So I'm pretty sure when he gave power of attorney to my brother had something to do with the fact that he was arrested and putting in jail for threatening to kill the neighbor. This is a man that kept guns in his house, and me and my sister were in fear of him shooting the whole family. This is a man that if a friend came to visit me and needed a ride home, I was scared to death that my friend may be dead the next day. That was, as soon as I'd get up, the first thing I'd want to know is phone this friend that visited me to see if she's still alive. The beatings were horrendous. The put downs, my sister has suffered from depression all of her life and has seen every freaking doctor on the planet and has taken every possible medication, and nothing worked. Until she found this one doctor that does, the psychologist, that's something like 60 years old and has been practicing this for years. And she's telling my sister that this is the most abusive story that she has ever heard in all of her practice. So it is as horrible as I can probably paint a picture of what we've gone through. You can see that this is what my mother is living with right now. And it's worse because my brother is an alcoholic. He has been known to throw screwdrivers at you if you do the slightest thing to piss him off. I think my brother will lose his cool and get violent much faster than my father. He is that evil. So this is twofold. Is anybody out there can help save my mom from this horrible, horrible abuse? Can she not have a few years of happiness in her life around people that love her? She's been surrounded by people that controlled and manipulated, and the ironical thing is, what I watched is the only thing that kept my mother safe is her memory. Anytime that something didn't go right, to get out of any trouble, she would always say, I can't remember. And that kept her safe. And so she developed Alzheimer's. You know, she literally would force her brain to block things out that was too painful for her to remember. But she could always remember what she wants to remember, even though she's got Alzheimer's, and nobody can see it but me, because me and my mom are really close. And I know what to talk about with her that interests her, and she's a lot of fun, but was never allowed to have fun. So, anyways, when she did develop Alzheimer's, as soon as she got that label, my father would always try and argue with her, and she goes, I don't have to argue with you anymore. I got Alzheimer's. I can't remember what you just said. And then she'd laugh at him and walk away. She's such a genius. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, I mean, even $10 from 25 people would do the trick. You know, like, I don't want to break anybody, and I don't need more than just 250. So at the bottom of this video, if you can help out, just put that you're interested in helping out and how much you'd be able to help out, so that once I see 250, then I can say no to anybody else that wants to help. So many people on this, my channel have helped me out. I have received